It's not every day that a monkey sees a plane writing words in the sky.
It says, "Come one, come all to a totally unique Wind Symphony. Be there or be square."
Huh?
I have no idea what that means.
Wind Symphony, one night only. Be there or be square.
But I guess we should be there. I certainly don't want to be square.
George tried to imagine how a wind symphony might work.
Hi.
Did you hear about the Wind Symphony? You gotta be there.
Or be square, we know. But what's a Wind Symphony?
It's something totally unique and right over your head. Come on, I'll show you. Behold, a symphony in the making. And there's the maestro in charge.
Mr. Zoobel?
Yep. Last week, he made me this beautiful pocket wind chime. When I heard this delicate sound, I thought, let's make it 20 times bigger, 40 times.
So you want Mr. Zoobel to create a giant wind chime?
Exactly. Something that makes a lot of noise when the wind blows. How's it coming, Zoobel?
I'm sorry, but I'm an artist, not a musician. I don't know if I can make this work.
Music to my ears. I have faith in you, Zoobel. You'll think of something. You have until Saturday.
That's tomorrow.
Say, George, do you want to help me make a wind symphony?
Okay, I have a bunch of ideas, George, but I don't know how to make them work. First, I want a lot of bong. Then, I want to sound like a foghorn. Yeah, and after that, a sort of tink, tink, tink. And then a nice, crisp, snappy sound. Let's start with the bong. Got any ideas?
Maybe something in here would make a nice loud bong.
Exactly like that, only a whole lot louder. Perfect! A lot of pots! The woo I have in mind is kind of like this. Pipes! Different sizes!
That took care of the bong and the woo. For the tink, 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 George made a careful sound analysis.
Too woody. Too papery. That's it! Tink, tink, tink! You did it, George!
Now we just need 40 times this many.
Saturday was here. George and Mr. Zoobel had to work fast to get the Wind Symphony ready.
Giorgio! What can I get for you today? Some prosciutto, perhaps?
Actually, we'd like, all the pots, pans, and cutlery you can spare.
What? Oh, is it for the Wind Symphony? Nettie and I have front row seats. Come this way. These have all failed the Peschetti test of excellence. I must take them to recycling. But if you want any, help yourself.
We'll put your name in the program.
Really? I am deeply honored. Nettie, I am a patron of the arts now.
At the recycling center, George and Mr. Zoobel tested a lot of pipes. There was one sound they were still missing.
Yeah, I know. No snap yet. Well, we still have 4 hours to go until the concert.
You're right, George.
There's our snap!
All right!
Luckily, there was plenty of snappy stuff back in George's apartment.
Ready for pinning, George? And look what we made. I call this Dinner is Served, Opus 12. When the wind hits it...
George and Mr. Zoobel arranged the pipes. Then tried to make the loudest bong they possibly could.
Perfecto! But we don't want just one bong, right? We want lots of bongs. Oh, hang up the pots? Yeah!
Well, this certainly looks loud and unique. Bravo!
I think we'll be ready. Except there's no wind.
Oh, not to worry. When glass wants wind, glass gets wind. Watch this. Glass here. Just checking on that wind you promised.
Right, Mr. Glass. It hasn't arrived yet. But based on my sophisticated computer modeling, I can state categorically that wind will be arriving soon. No later than Wednesday.
Wednesday? Oh, that's no good. I need wind now. Oh, boy. This is a disaster. Look! All those people are expecting a world-class symphonic event in 23 minutes. Good luck, maestros.
Yeah, you said it, George. Yeesh.
If the Wind Symphony was going to work, George had better go find some wind. George grabbed anything that looked like it could make wind. Fans, the vacuum cleaner, the bellows from the fireplace, a piece of paper. Oh, and this looked good too.
This is so exciting. I am one of the patrons. Did you know?
No, I didn't. Congratulations.
Attention! Attention, please! Without further ado, let the symphony begin!
Hit it, George!
It was working. Sort of.
This is the world's quietest wind symphony.
George bellowed until he could bellow no more.
You're in luck, Mr. Glass. I was able to call in the 57th Street Whirlybird Squadron. Wind is on the way.
Whew, my arms are about to break. Oh, well.
Beautiful.
I'm just so proud. Excuse.
What did I tell you, maestros? When Glass wants wind, Glass gets wind.
On Saturdays in the country, monkeys like to wash cars. All kinds of cars. And sometimes
George!
they have a helper.
I got soap from Grandma. It's I forget. But it doesn't hurt plants or fish. Ah!
Hey, guys, instead of washing the car today, how'd you like to do something different? Like, get the car washed.
Welcome to the brand new Fast Dash automated car wash. Yeah, we do it all. Rinse, wipe, suds, scrubbers, final rinse, and a towel dry at the finish line.
Ooh!
Plus, all our soap is biodegradable.
That's the word. Ah!
We'll take it.
Come on in.
We get to ride with the car?
Best seats in the house. Okay, you can shut her off.
Great.
This was weird. The car was turned off, but somehow it was still moving.
Isn't it great? This is the best thing about an automated car wash. It's automatic. We're on a conveyor. Those rails have rollers under them that carry us through the wash. This is the first rinse. Now the big wipe. The suds! Here come the suds! Now, the scrubbers. Oh, I love this part. Look at them go! Oh, where? Oh no, the final rinse!
I'm gonna keep my window rolled up.
Here you go. Oh.
Thanks. I've got water in my ears.
That was fun. Flop. I wish we could do it again, right now. Oh,
George wished they could too. And then he realized he had a sprayer, biodegradable soap. He even had some cars.
Oh, yeah, George. Let's make our own automated car wash. But where are we going to get a drive-through building? Oh, yeah.
If you're making a car wash, picnic benches work just fine. They make an entrance, an exit, and lots of car washing room in between.
Oh, first we have to spish. Yeah. Okay, turn it on.
If you're washing cars,
Whoops.
you don't want to wash them away. His spisher was too strong. Maybe if he sprayed straight up, the water would be weaker when it hit the cars. Too weak. It barely wet the car at all. But it did knock down a lot of acorns. Jumpy wished he could work that thing.
Oh, hiya, Mr. Squirrel. Did you want to take a shower?
I can't get this water out of my ears.
If you're building a car wash, you need something that lets water in, but not all at once.
Ooh.
Now the car got wet, but didn't wash away.
Next come the flappy things, right?
What could make a good flapper?
Flop, flop, flop. That's great, George. Now we're ready for the blub, blub, blub part.
Instead of going blub, his soap went blob. What he needed was another thing with holes in it to help make suds. A tea strainer helped make great suds.
We got the spish, 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 and the flap, 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 and the blub, blub, blub. Now we need the squish, squish, squish.
Oh, I better take a hot shower, put on my slippers, and keep nice and warm.
If you needed scrubbers, bathrooms were great places to look.
Wow, that's a lot of scrubbies. So how do we make them scrub?
Where was he going to find something to make the scrubbers spin?
Oh, hey, Mr. Squirrel! You came back for your shower. Hey! Well, I guess he didn't want to shower after all.
Suddenly, an answer spun into sight. George was ready to take his car wash for a spin. But the car wash didn't just wash cars. It also washed George.
Oops.
And then he remembered what he forgot.
We're on a conveyor. Those rails have rollers under them that carry us through the wash.
He needed some rollers and rails.
Oh, good job, George.
But when his rollers were rolling,
Whoops.
his rails rolled off.
Ow. We need one of those long black mat thingies. You know, like they have at the grocery store. It goes whoosh.
George didn't have a long black mat, but he did have some short blue ones.
You ready? Flop, flop, flop.
Hey, a car wash. Cool. Oh, this is great. And my slippers and hat. Hey, the water finally came out of my ears. Yeah, when I bent down to see your amazing car wash. It's fantastic.
The automatic car wash was a big hit. Both of them.
Take good care of my Studebaker, George.
Breakfast was George's favorite meal of the day, along with lunch and dinner.
George, could you pass the pepper, please?
Uh-oh, Pepper always made George sneeze.
Are you all right? That's some mess you made. I'll go get the sponge. Ooh, except I'm late for a meeting. I have to go. Can you clean up, George? Thanks. And make sure to vacuum up all the crumbs. I saw an ant in here a few days ago. No, George, that's a bad thing. Yes. Once ants discover food in an apartment, you can never get rid of them. Never. Bye, George. Have a nice day.
George had made quite a mess, even for a monkey. Look at that, a new game, Great Ball. Before long, George had invented a lot of new games. Grape Ball, Apple Ball, Pear Ball, and now, Toast Ball. That was close. George almost stepped on an ant. Wait, an ant? The man with the yellow hat was right. There was an ant in the apartment. There were 2 ants in the apartment. Actually, there were a lot of ants in the apartment. George had to stop the ants from finding the food. George discovered that ants are good at walking over things. Ants are good at walking around things, too. George would need something bigger to block all these ants. Meanwhile, Hundley was outside checking the hallway, making sure it looked nice and tidy. An ant? That's not tidy. George was up to something. Hundley decided he'd better check. Just as Hundley suspected, George was having an ant party. George wanted Hundley to help him keep the ants away from the food. Too late. Now George would never get rid of them. Never. Was that where the ants were coming from? If George could carefully block the crack, the problem was solved. George was a genius. Except now he'd have to stay here forever. George had done it. No more ants. Where were these coming from? It took a lot of napkins and other stuff, but George and Hundley plugged every crack. No more ants could get in. Now, they just had to get all the ants that were already in out. George was amazed that the ant could carry something almost as big as it was. Hundley didn't want to study ants. He wanted to get rid of them. Maybe the vacuum cleaner would scare them away. It scared Hundley. But the ants seemed to be just fine. George decided the ant might feel safer out on the balcony. Maybe that's what George should do. Carry all the ants outside. Oh, 1 gajillion of them? That wouldn't work. George showed Hundley his discovery. Ants follow food. Maybe they'd follow it right out the door. So that was the solution. Put the food outside, and the ants would leave. And of course, they come back with their food. George had another idea. Maybe he could get the ants inside the trash can by filling it with food. rooftop was ready. It was working. The ants crawled into the can as fast as their legs would carry them. George had to get the ants out of the apartment fast before they escaped. The ants were outside. Problem solved. Except, now they had a new problem. Where would they put them? They couldn't put the ants on the sidewalk. They'd get squished. And they'd get even more squished on the street. The park. The ants would love it there. Hundley was a small dog, but he made a very big noise.
What's going on there? Hey!
George and Hundley set the ants free in a nice empty area of the park where no one would step on them. George said goodbye to each and every ant. This could take a while. It had been quite a morning, but the ants were gone and everything was okay.
George, I can't believe this apartment.
George had forgotten to clean up his mess.
Good job, George. Not only did you clean the apartment, you also took out the trash.
He did? Oh yeah, he did.
Of course, you also shoved napkins and handkerchiefs into the wall and covered it with bandages. But I'm not even gonna ask. You just sit down and take it easy. I'll go make us some lunch.
George could finally relax. The apartment was clean, and he'd never have to worry about ants again. George enjoyed all mornings in the country, but Sunday was his favorite. Because Sunday was pancake day.
See how it's getting bubbly? That means they're ready to flip. Good job. Whoa, go easy on that syrup. It doesn't grow on trees. Well, actually, it does. No, really, it does.
Trees that grow syrup? George couldn't wait to pick some.
I mean, it's not on the tree. It's in the tree. You have to tap it. Oh, that's okay. I like my pancakes without. I'll get it. Eat them while they're hot and soggy.
Wait, they weren't out of syrup. They had plenty of trees. All he had to do was tap them.
George, why are you knocking on that tree? Huh? There's a door in there? Really? Oh, maybe this is where elves live. Huh?
So that was the problem. George needed to tap louder.
Hey,
And to borrow that mallet.
George, what are you doing?
Oh.
Are you looking for syrup? Well, first you'll have to tap the tree. No, not tap like knocking. I mean a tap like a spigot. See, you put a tap in the tree and then collect the sap in a bucket.
Yeah.
You know, I've got an extra bucket if you'd like to make your own syrup.
Wow, George, you get a whole bucket? How many pancakes could you cover with that? Ooh.
George wasn't sure, but he bet it was a lot.
Good job.
You want to try? Great! Making syrup is easy. First, you have to find a maple tree. Now, a maple tree has gray bark and deep ridges that run up and down like this. And they have 5-pointed leaves like this.
Ooh. Yeah, look. The bottle tells you what kind of leaves to look for. Ah!
Then you drill a small hole angled up for best sap flow, then hammer in the spigot. No, it doesn't hurt the tree, George. Right now, it's like the trees are sleeping. They don't need their sap until spring when the weather gets warmer and they put out leaves. Got it? Now, hold on. You'll need these, too. I'll get another set from the barn. You sure you don't want any help?
No.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. That one's good and gray.
Some trees were gray, but didn't have deep up and down ridges.
The bark's wrong.
Others had ridges, but weren't gray. But some trees were just right.
Here you go, George. We did it! Now all we have to do is wait. I think we tapped the slowest tree in the woods.
Thanks, George.
Hey, George?
It took a while, but George's bucket was finally full.
Ooh. Whoops, wait! I'll help you. We need a bucket lifting machine or an elevator.
Or a cow. George figured with Leslie's help, he could lift the bucket off the tap.
Ready? 1, 2.
It wasn't a whole bucket of syrup, but it would still cover a lot of pancakes.
Forgot to turn the tree off. Come on!
Okay, okay. Pancakes? For me?
Yep, and syrup. And we made it. Well, the tree made it, but we tapped the tree all by ourselves.
Wow. Very moist.
That doesn't taste like syrup at all. Grandpa's trees must be broken.
No. The trees aren't broken, George. Maple syrup trees give sap, not syrup.
Sap?
Sap becomes syrup after it's boiled down. Luckily, you've come to the right place. We boil it right here at the sugar shack.
Oh, yeah!
Now, this will take a while, and if we leave it too long, it can boil over, burn, and be ruined. So we have to keep an eye on it.
Watching sap boil was a lot like watching sap drip. It took forever.
Aha! Looks like it's ready. What do you say to that?
Oh, yeah!
Leslie, how did you get out?
Whoops! I think she wants syrup. Cows like syrup a lot.
Oh.
George, the syrup! It's going to boil over.
No matter how hard he blew, George couldn't cool the syrup down.
Leslie.
Maybe if they fanned it.
I thought you didn't know anything about making syrup. Well, you knew butter stops syrup from boiling over. Well, here you are, your own bottle of syrup. It takes a whole lot of sap to make a little bit of syrup.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, George. Best syrup ever.
Luckily, a little bit of syrup has a whole lot of taste.